Last Minute Podcast, episode 17. We'll start today before we get to the Jets with some big personal news on the podcast front. One of the guys in our podcast finally grew up this week and got his driver's license.
Yes.
Congratulations, Cam.
Thanks, guys.
About time.
How did I get here, Greg? Oh, right. I got a ride still.
Fucking dick. Still's like, hey, you want to give me a ride? Don't you have a license now? Don't have a car. Fair enough.
One of those.
One of those people, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, you're a step up on my sister, and she's 27, so hey.
Yeah, I'm the guy.
Something's
I'm
going
expected to... Although, what is that? You know what? I'm not getting into that on
No,
this podcast.
what?
Yeah, I'm not going into like
who
the...
says we can't be...
Equality?
Yeah.
How come we... No one
Why do we
sent
gotta
me
drive?
flowers on my birthday. I
Yeah.
just want to say.
There's so much expectation as a
I want flowers.
guy. And then, like,
As a male?
all the guy wants, he's like, I want sex. That's what I want, so... And he just does whatever it takes to get it.
Yeah, but girls put up with your shit.
What shit do I put up? Oh, okay, yeah,
We
sports.
put up with their shit.
I have
Do
to
they
listen to-
even shit? I don't know.
Here's
I live with
the-
three
here's
of
the
them. It
difference.
always smells like
Everyone
potpourri.
poops. Everyone poops.
Here's the thing, though,
What are we
like,
doing?
we're listening to the guy that's in a relationship here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to hockey.
That was
Let's
worse
try.
than talking about Connor McDavid first. Talking about
Oh,
girls
now.
pooping.
Oh, you
Oh.
want to talk about
Oh,
Connor
all
McDavid?
right.
Well, let's do it. Connor, don't it. Why? Let's tell him what happened. Go, Greg. Go. I'm going to go off, so you go. You go.
Okay, Connor McDavid decided to fight.
Cam's gonna lose it.
He was getting picked on, and as anybody has been taught, if you're getting picked on by a bully, not a goalie, if you're
goalie?
getting picked on by a bully,
If you're getting
You
picked on
break
by-
your own hand
you
on their
stand
face.
up. No,
if you're
you
getting
stand
picked on by a
up.
goalie, you've got problems.
You stand up for yourself, and you decide to fight back, and that's what he did. Unfortunately, no one taught Connor McDavid how to fight because you're supposed to punch the other guy in the head and
Not
not
the
hit the
helmet.
boards.
He had to hit boards?
Broke his hand on the boards, not the helmet.
Really? So he's out 5 to 6
see.
weeks with a
Broken hand, broken bone in his
Did he
hand.
break it?
broken bone in his hand.
Yeah.
And
You know what?
Here's the thing, though.
He has-
I broke my thumb and still played hockey, so Connor, you
Greg
got some
broke my
explaining to
pinky
do.
and I kept playing hockey.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Got
know,
some explaining to do here.
I give him credit for standing up for himself. Hey, Anthony Peluso broke his hand on a fight.
Yeah,
It,
but that's
it-
Anthony-
it just happened to be on the other guy's face, not on the boards. But still,
Evander Kane did it too.
it happens.
Yeah, but
It
Connor,
happens.
you're being a little selfish. I just want to say,
Oh
I'm
my-
speaking on the behalf of Canada. We expected gold this year, and if we don't get gold, you know what? You've earned the right to play for Buffalo. Enjoy that. That's from me.
But
That's
okay.
from Canada to you, Connor McDavid.
Here's what. Okay, so when you're playing hockey, like, oh, you know what? Like my 6 points today. I'm really looking forward to playing for Canada. He's not thinking that.
Yes, he is.
No,
and
he's
he
not.
should be at
In
all
the
times.
back of his mind,
Every
he's not.
You know what
Yay.
else happened
World
this week?
Juniors.
Because Connor didn't play on the team. Team Canada got spanked in the Super Series twice. 'Cause
Yeah, but
Team
he
OHL
can't play
'cause
in
Connor
WHL.
McDavid
Are we overlooking the fact
in the
that
OHL.
Oh, in the OHL.
game happened too.
are we overlooking the fact that he was on the junior team last year and they didn't win?
Because he didn't have a big role, he was supposed to be superstar this year.
Mm.
Now we don't
Teams-
even know if he's going to make the team or play. What, do you
If-
take it, Gotham?
If he's healthy, he makes it.
yeah.
Why wouldn't
well,
he-
that's
why
a,
would-
a real iffy.
Okay, 5 to
He's
6.
probably outscored in 5 to 6 weeks. I don't think anyone else will catch up to his point total that he has. On.
Actually, there's a few guys like
just
Okay.
there.
close enough
Well,
that might catch him and pass him, but then he'll get him again.
He's averaging
saying,
4 points a
Connor,
game.
you can fight
Come on.
people in like MMA video games. Don't fight on the ice. You really hurt a lot of Canadians' feelings this week, namely me.
Cam.
Now,
This is where I say that the Jets, when the guys like Wheeler and Kane are fighting, it's good that they're standing up for themselves. But if this happens to them,
Continue exactly.
then it's not good for
if
the
Blake
Jets.
Wheeler goes down, no
Yeah.
more Hatties.
Yeah,
Or
if
semi-Hatties.
if Chris Thorburn breaks his hand fighting, whatever.
Good.
Whatever.
And that's what I was
But,
thinking
like-
about, just regarding Thorburn.
Like,
I've never heard of a franchise. I can't think of a franchise that pays a guy $1.2 million to be friends with someone. With Evander Kane. And that's the only justification I can think of besides them signing him. Yes, heart and soul then. I'm just bugging you. But
hey, I'm
like,
the,
yeah.
the Jets can do without him.
There's a lot of worse contracts, but I guess the Jets, if 1.2 is your worst contract, I'd say we're doing pretty good.
You know,
Yeah.
In my mind, that's the worst
the part
contract.
that kind of gets me is whenever there's an opening, on the third line, he always gets bumped up. Not
Yeah.
Gagliardi, not Peluso, not Halischuk. No, let's bump Thorburn up. He's
earned
not
it.
going to score,
What?
but you know what? He's effort.
What's
Effort.
happening?
I mean, he tried to fight last week and he's got 2 black eyes now. So
Oh, World Juniors, just to bring it back to
Whatever.
McDavid quick, is like McDavid's back 2 days before their first game. But that's like at the long run. So,
That's not.
But
either way, he's making
mind
the team.
keep
It's like
in mind-
Stamkos in the
yeah,
Olympics.
keep in mind-
They gave Stamkos a ring.
Stamkos, there's no way Stamkos should have been healthy for the Olympics. He was. So McDavid could be back soon.
Maybe, as we talked about, was that with you? Where Dragon Ball Z, where you put him in like a
Hyperbolic time traver.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Maybe
Dragon
they put
Ball Z
Stamkos
references.
in that, and maybe they're gonna. I know they're gonna
Maybe.
put David in that. They better.
Now,
I expect gold.
before we get to Jets, is the bigger issue, which arose from this whole McDavid thing, was the issue of fighting in hockey, and does it have a place in hockey? And coming from my sense and things that I've heard about is junior hockey is 15 in exceptional cases, but normally 16 to 19-year-olds? What's the
Yes.
age that you get kicked out
Oh,
of junior?
16 to 20.
16 to 20.
Yeah.
And people are paying money to go see kids like that fight. I don't think that's right. I think fighting in the NHL, fine. But fighting in junior league, maybe not so much, and there needs to be stiffer penalties like game misconducts or whatever to just kind of go away from fighting in the OHL and the CHL in general. But these reporters and NHL players like Paul Bissonnette were getting on them saying, you've never played a minute in your life of actual competitive hockey. And you're saying that there shouldn't be fighting in hockey because people are getting hurt?
Did you listen to Biz Nasty? He was on Hustler and Lawless this week.
Oh, it was
Well, he went
After
on
the McDavid
He
thing.
went on
Yeah.
a tweet rant saying,
Yeah.
like, oh, you've never played the game. But
to another guy.
Him and Lawless were going back and forth. And then he
Mr.
came
Yeah.
on the radio.
No, I know.
Oh, really?
I backed up what he was
I
saying.
didn't listen to it. I just saw that
Okay.
he
Well,
was
like,
on. So.
but he's one of those people that, sorry to cut you off,
No,
but he's
you
one
go.
of those people that's an advocate for, you never played the game, yet you're talking about it like
He's
you know what's
making
best.
like it's called
you
an
know
ad
what's best
hominem.
for it.
Like when you're in an argument with someone and like, so say we're arguing Jets Flyers, and then it'll be like, yeah, well, blah, blah, blah. And then I bring
Oh,
up like
really?
someone
Good point. Sounds like a Flyer
Ad
fan trying to
hominem?
bring up a good point.
You say ad hominem?
Jesus.
like ad hominem. That's what it's called.
It'd be if you and
you
Greg,
just left field.
you and
Oh,
Greg
left
were
field.
if you and Greg were bickering about who the best, about who is the Flyers, the Jets are better. You would start attacking Greg instead.
Oh yeah, there you go.
So instead of debating the topic, you would just start attacking Greg.
Exactly. But Biz Nasty brings up a point. It's like, yo, you've never played the game. But what he forgot is that he's not playing the game. So maybe.
But
we
he's
should
playing in
just
the
shut hell
AHL.
up.
He's playing in the
But he's
talking.
but it's like
How did he become famous? Because of Twitter. How did he even get noticed? Because he was an NHL player, and his role was to fight.
Yes.
And I'm saying fighting isn't as big in the NHL anymore, and I don't think there's a place for staged fights and stuff like that. But normal fights are exciting. They amp up the team, and they're fun to watch. When Kane last week, when that Pittsburgh fight, when he fought Depret, that made the MTS Center go ballistic because of a fight, and it's not a stage fight, and it's good for the game. Even though you can talk about concussions all you want, and I love the fact that Bissonnette's like, you never played the game. You have no right to say hockey does not, or fighting does not belong in hockey. There's the MMA, which is stage fights. If you want stage fighting, go to the MMA. But if you want, these guys, they get mad and they have passion and they
I'm
fight
fine
because
with
of it.
fights like that. Like I'm just being a dink about the Connor McDavid thing.
No, I
I want
understand.
gold.
No,
But
I know.
I'm just saying I'm okay with like the way Connor McDavid, like he was getting picked on.
Yeah.
So he fought. I get that. I hate the staged ones where it's like right off the face of like, oh yeah,
That's stupid.
we've been texting each other like we're friends, but we're gonna fight because it's our job. It's like, why? That's stupid. It doesn't do anything.
It's
Doesn't
a two-sided
accomplish
coin though, because if McDavid had fought, not broken his hand, maybe won the fight, everyone would have been like, "Oh, good for him."
Oh,
He stood up for himself.
another thing.
But he breaks his hand. Now everyone's like, "You're an idiot."
The kid
And
was fighting. It was his first fight too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, two-way street.
People are very.
That kid should have known to not.
But people
swing
are
at
very
Connor, though.
people are very situationally focused. Like
Yeah.
depending what happens, that formulates what their opinion is.
But it really just, it's
not-
shocking that we're even discussing taking fighting out of hockey.
You never will be
Maybe
able
just
to.
stiffer
Fully.
penalties, and I really
Stiffer
like your
penalties?
junior too. Like how,
and that's the
who's
way-
the GM of the OHL? Is that David Branch or is
I
that
don't
for the
know.
whole CHL?
But like I know in
He's really good there.
I know in the Manitoba Junior Hockey League, which is MJHL, which is the major junior hockey league, which is a step below the CHL. They've just released new stuff, and I think it began 2-3 years ago, where it is game misconduct, 5 in a game misconduct per player. So they get kicked out of the game, and they get kicked out of the current game, and depending when the fight is, they can get kicked out for an additional game.
if it's in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
of the
something
game,
like
I
that.
think
Do you
they're 10,
think?
Yeah.
But do you think guys like Bissonnette or who's another solely fighter,
Colton Orr.
Colton Orr? Do you think?
Zenon Konopka.
Do you think guys like that are gonna care if they play 3 minutes a game anyways. Do you think they're going to care if they fight and then get kicked out?
No, but that's the thing, though. That's
not
when
gonna do anything.
that's okay, though. That's what we're saying. But just at a junior level, to kind of steer away from having fights happen every game, we're just saying that's a way. Because I watched 6 games last year of the MJHL playoffs, and I saw maybe one fight. I don't even think I saw a fight. And just what it is it doesn't act as a scare tactic. But it almost says, if you're out for a game as a player like Bissonnette and someone steps in and they show that they can do a better job than that, unless you're in a Thorburn Peluso case, you're probably going to lose your job, and players don't want to lose their job.
And even in the OHL, I believe it was a year ago, 2 years ago, they did change like the fighting rules in terms of like, I think once you hit like a team, as a team, if you've had like 6 or more players, I'm going to get back to you guys on this, but 6 or more players fight on your team faces like a fine.
Oh,
and
really?
then as a player, it's like your first fight, potentially suspension when it happens. Your second fight, you get 5 games, I believe. And then your third fight, it's like 15. And then if you have 5 fights, you're done. Like, you're done. You have to like go to like a hearing to see if they're even allowed to come back in the league. So
It's tough.
for junior, I get it.
Stage fighting to me is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, there was that game, was it Rangers Devils a few years ago, where off the opening face-off, everyone fought, like all 10 guys.
Oh yeah, I
And
remember.
then
That was Flames and Canucks.
it happened
No,
again.
that happened then again.
Again, Flames. But like, okay, stuff like that, that's stupid. But if you're like the Jets, that Pittsburgh game, every fight was the Jets standing up for their teammates. When like, if a guy runs your guy from behind into the boards, you grab and beat the crap out of him. I don't care, go for it.
Yeah, and I think that's.
But if you're just gonna fight for the sake of fighting, like, it's stupid. If you're standing up for a teammate or you're standing up for yourself, like the Blake Wheeler fight, he was standing up for himself.
Well, all Blake Wheeler fights, he's been
The
standing up for
Trouba one,
someone.
he was standing up for his goal.
Even back to Coyotes, Doan was all over him and like hacking him and crap. So it's like, okay, well, I will fight you.
Like,
actually, he got kind of a jump there.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
he caught you.
Lowry, he was standing up for Klitzen because he got charged from the blue line. Like, if you're gonna do that, I'm okay with that.
No, I like. There are advocates for taking fighting out of hockey, and they're all writers. You don't hear any former players or any current players really saying, "I don't want fighting in the NHL." It's all writers are
because then
saying
you'll
it.
get blackballed.
Yeah.
It's like Michael Sam, like in the NFL. It's like
Oh, yeah.
he was the first openly gay guy to enter the draft. Like, I guarantee there's gay guys in the NFL, but they don't want to be the first guy or like one of the first guys to be like, oh yeah, I've been gay for like 5-10 years, but I'm not bringing that out because that would just bring like a wave of hate to it, like extra hate towards
And
me.
just
And
media
fuel my
attention.
enemies, exactly.
And you know the media's going to jump all
Exactly.
over.
So
ESPN
it's
didn't
a hot
talk
story.
about anything else for the first 2 months of the NFL season.
Exactly. So like
Stupid.
it's just that maybe
And the guy's been cut twice now already? Like,
They've beaten that thing to death.
Yeah,
my
and like
lord.
they don't just bring it back to the NHL. It's like obviously there's guys who have played hockey who don't believe in fighting, but they
Yeah.
don't want to be the black sheep.
I guess so, yeah. And like it has been proven that it does affect you if you're a fighter in the NHL, and that role of fighter is definitely been decreased in the NHL.
well,
Teams don't have that anymore.
and there's also
You need 4 good lines.
there's
to
been quite
play
a
hockey.
few suicides in the last few years of guys who were like
Oh,
Bugard,
yeah.
Yeah, like
Rippin,
brain problem.
Belak,
Rippin.
Rippin, who were tough guys. Because I mean, you get hit in the head enough, it's gonna. But a lot of that, like, I mean,
demons too. And
those guys were like, I know Bugard, he was depressed, he was on all kinds of medication, drinking,
But
which
due
is
to
not
the
a
fact
good.
that his job, like that's
Yeah,
his
and
job.
it
He
just
was,
could be that.
he was depressed because he did sustain concussions.
Well, that's like,
Yeah.
I mean, if your job is to fight someone, like, in your mind, like, I remember, like, even, like, say if I, like, pissed one of you guys off or something, like, you're thinking about it. It's like, imagine, like, going to your job and being like, yeah, my job today, I have to fight this guy. It's like, you're gonna
it's
be
like
a little
it's like the
psychological
MMA,
damage.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I think we should finish off with this point. We're not saying hockey should get rid of fighting. The way I feel is the role of the grinder or the fighter is definitely going to make its way out of the NHL in the next 5 years. You're going to see less fights, but all the fights that you will see are situational fights where it's people standing up for each other in the case of Wheeler or Kane or those kinds of moments, not just guys going out to punch each other like we saw with Coltnor and Cassian.
Zach
Cassian.
Not Zach, the other one.
Matt.
Matt.
Matt
Boom.
Cassian.
There we
Oh,
go.
well,
He-
since we're go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
Or John Scott. John Scott shouldn't be in the NHL. He's a fucking bum.
even
If you hear this, John Scott, I'll fight you. Fuck you.
but okay, the enforcers on the Jets, like Peluso, those guys, like, they're fighters, but they're talented. They can play hockey if they give them the chance. They don't need to fight. They fight to stand. If you're taking runs or something, or they'll stand up for their guys.
Didn't Peluso,
But-
like once Maurice came in, didn't he? Apart from getting a bigger role with the team, wasn't he in a shootout?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like what? I've never been like.
and he won the hardest shot contest.
Exactly. Like they
last
gave
year.
him an opportunity to progress as a player, and look at what it turned out. Like when he plays, it's good. He's not just a fighter, so that's good.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
Wow, exactly.
I don't know. Since we're on the McDavid watch, should I do the McDavid standings?
Yes, give
Yeah,
it to
do
me.
it right now.
Okay, number 5 is Edmonton, slowly working their way out of it. Number 4, Carolina. 3, Arizona. 2 is Columbus, and 1, you guys probably know who it is.
Or Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Oh yeah, what was your stat, Greg? How many goals for it? Can you check since you're already there?
They are minus.
They have
42.
24 goals for, which means that they have 66 goals against for a whopping minus 42 goal differential right now.
Dang.
Let this sink in. Buffalo's played the most games in the league, and they have the fewest points.
Let this sink in as well. The team that is second least in goals for has only played 13 games. The Florida Panthers. They both have 24 goals this season. Panthers are averaging just under 2 goals a game,
And who's the next lowest scorer?
that would be Winnipeg Jets.
But it's not always indicative because the Jets currently are tied for
no, it's
eighth.
not. That's not what I'm saying.
Tied
though.
for 9th. In the
Basically,
league.
what we're saying is Buffalo, for roughly every goal you score, your enemies score or opponents score 3.
4.
4 now.
4.
3.
Minus.
If
Oh
the-
yeah, no, sorry, 3.
If the Jets were having these scoring troubles with the terrible defensive play that they normally have, they'd be getting stomped.
Yeah, they'd be down there. Okay, so Jets played Hurricanes last night, and as good Jets fans, we didn't watch it.
This game, no?
No, we'll
Do it. Let's go newest to oldest.
Backwards in time.
Carolina. I didn't watch the game. Dan,
Okay.
what happened? Give us a quick recap.
No, Jets played good. They controlled the game, controlled the play. Cam Ward made some good saves. Probably could have been more than 3-1.
And you
Probably
were
could've been.
complaining earlier about Dennis Beck and Shane Natty. Why would that be?
Well, the second Wheeler scored the 2 goals, they pulled a stat up on the screen saying 472 games since the hat trick or something. So I mean,
472.
2010, December 2010 was the hat trick.
Eric Bolton on Marty
That's
Brodeur.
almost 4 years.
Curse of the Bolton. That's a curse
They've
of the...
had 69.
We have a curse of the Bambino.
They've had 72 goal games now after last night. 70 times a player has had 2 goals in a game.
That's ridiculous. Greg, just get over it.
Just open the Skittles.
Open like 3 or 4 of them right off the hop.
No, I'm
Greg,
only gonna have
Open
one.
them, dump them all on the table.
Yeah, Dan gave him
Fuck.
like a box of like snack pack like Skittles for Halloween, and Greg's just trying to. It's like the kid.
I
in the
gave him a
movie
box
theater
and he
with, like,
came
a
back
can
for
of
a
pop.
second box.
Yeah, he's like a kid in the movie theater. It's like, it's like you can. I know you have a can of pop here. Or like
No,
the
a
kid
can
with
of
the bag
beer
of
is
chips
more,
who's like, the first Jets game I watched, start to finish, after the Avs game because I was there. Montreal, and they lost 3-0. Man, that was a stinker.
They played good. They gave themselves
What?
a chance to win that game.
What?
How did they not?
Okay, this is what they did not play good. They had scoring opportunities.
2 posts, a crossbar, wide open net that they missed. Carey Price made some unreal saves. I'm not saying they outplayed
And
Montreal.
Kane didn't pass on a turn.
I am putting blame.
I'm not saying they outplayed Montreal. I'm saying they gave themselves chances to win.
Yes, I agree with that. I'm putting sole blame on you, Evander Kane. Why? You should learn how to pass on a 2-on-0, especially with Blake Wheeler, because it's coming right back to you. We all know it.
Does he always have to go top corner though? Like that
Evander Kane. That open net.
open net. If you rifle it along the ice, it's 2-1. There's 2 minutes left.
Okay,
in the
I'll
game.
give him the benefit of the doubt. We all know he uses like a banana scythe curve. It's huge.
Give him a flat stick then.
Yeah, maybe. Like
Wheeler has a terrible shot because he uses a flat stick.
well, that's
Not
okay.
terrible, but he has an average shot because he uses a flat stick.
Well, it's whatever you're used to. Like some guys with flat sticks have wicked shots, like Zetterberg. He's got a great
that's
shot
true.
too. But
That's
like, it's just like, what? Are you, Matt Duchene's got a banana curve.
Shifley also
You
hit.
ever seen that thing? It's bigger than an Ovi. It's
Oh really?
ridiculous.
I thought it was like this.
Oh no,
Shifley also hit.
That's just about-
Shifley also hit his probably 12th post of the year.
Mark. Because
He's hit about 12
I know
posts.
you listen to this, Mark Shifley.
So-
I'm going to give you advice from
Mark
a guy
Shifley.
from a guy who plays like an hour a week. I know my stuff about hockey pretty much. Stop thinking about, just do it. I know he's doing it, but it's like, how many times can you just post out? Like, they got to start posting eventually. Like, it's going to happen. I don't know when. But you know what? At least he's taking shots and like hitting the post. Evander, 5 feet up, 3 feet wide.
the goals hopefully will start going in.
Yeah.
If they don't, they're going to be in trouble because eventually they're going to have to start scoring more than 2 or 3 goals a game.
And then the Jets previously, before that, they played Ottawa. They won 2-1 in a shootout. I didn't watch this game.
I watched the
Matthew
shootout.
Perreault scored with a broken stick in the shootout.
And it counted?
He flipped it. He barely shot it. He broke his stick in overtime blocking a shot, and he forgot to change it. And then halfway down the ice, he went, shit, my stick's broken. So he literally, because there are about 7 shooters per team, and everyone was shooting, like, top corner, and everyone got denied.
But he didn't get, like, the goal didn't get declined because
Nobody
of the
knew.
stick. What do you mean?
He didn't say till after. There was a crack in his stick. It wasn't broken. There was a crack in it.
Oh, I heard, like,
He
it
forgot to change
exploded
it before.
and he shoved it.
He forgot to change it before the shootout. So halfway down, he goes, shit, there's a crack in my stick. So he literally goes in after everyone tries, like, top corner. He literally goes in like this and goes flip and scores. Mm-hmm. And then he looks at his stick and starts laughing. And then after, he's like, yeah, if I had gone backhand, it would have broke.
Oh, so they didn't know. Okay,
No.
because I was explaining, like, yeah, his stick exploded
But
and he shoved it
If
at
you
the
watch the game, everyone's rifling shots, and he goes in with a little change-up, like, floater.
Yeah,
Scores. It was like...
Anderson didn't expect it.
Okay.
Only reason that game got to a shootout was because of Anderson, though. Because the Jets, again.
Well,
A trend with the Jet games, they play well. They aren't just squeaking victories out. They're playing...
No, they are. They did play well against Montreal.
They're outplaying teams. They're dictating the pace. They're hard to play against. They're not just squeaking out victories like they did last couple of years. If you watch them play, they're a good, confident team.
Against Montreal, like, I thought it was a little bit like a slower game, but they did look better. They just weren't capitalizing on their chances. Yeah. So, yep. Moving on to...
They also are 7-1-2 in the last 10.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
I did see that.
They came 1 game short of tying the franchise record of, like,
point streak,
like 9 straight games as a record. Wow. They had 8. That ain't bad.
And they bounced back from a loss with a win, which is what good teams do.
Yes.
Yeah. Shockingly enough, we talked about it. I'm playing with it.
Good. Keep making more noise.
Fine. Whatever. I'll put it down.
Yeah. Excellent. Greg keeps making... If you hear all this noise and tapping on tables and everything, it's Greg.
When was the last time I tapped on a table?
When you were talking about hockey hitting, you tapped it like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, well, I'm done, Cherry, okay?
Yeah.
Don, mother...
Fuck, I've got no time to do this. Yeah, okay.
What?
What are they going to cut? Did you not watch Coach's Corner last week?
I hate Coach's Corner. I haven't watched it in like 4 years.
Yeah, he got cut off pretty early.
Oh, no, I don't think he just doesn't have as much time. And he's like, oh, we out of time already? He got on and he's like, okay, we're pressed for time. So let me talk about this one thing. Okay, we don't have enough time. Yeah, that was basically his rant.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, yeah, we're out of time. Okay.
All right.
Yep. He has like 5 minutes.
John Cherry.
He has 5 minutes, and then they're like, hey, Nick Kyprios, here you go. Here's 20 minutes to talk about bullshit. You have no clue what you're talking about.
If there's one guy worse
Damien Cox.
If there's one guy worse in the whole world than John Cherry, it's Nick Kyprios. So.
No,
or Damien Cox.
Damien Cox is bad.
Here it is, though. Don Cherry is actually somewhat intelligent. He knows what he's talking about.
He's a geriatric old... I'm not going to finish it.
Oh, you're Canadian? Yep. American, greatest ever. Oh, Ovechkin, I hate when you celebrate goals ever. Oh, Jordan Everly, you scored and your knee slid. Greatest player ever.
But
pretty sure he's a little racist.
No, he's
underlying
still,
racism.
He's like 80. He's 80-something years old. He's been brought up with Canada's
He's 87?
best. Something like that. 80-something, I said.
When they put him up, there was a stick behind him.
Just stick up his ass.
Yeah, right up his ass. Nice.
Regardless if you like him or hate him, you have to realize this. He's right about a lot of things. He knows where the best players come. He knows.
Yeah, from Mimco.
Not from Mimco, but like he knew Winnipeg was getting their team back before we got our team back, and he said Winnipeg get right. He said it 3 days before the team.
did the guy that sits in section 313 that has a "Told Ya" jersey on the name bar.
Yeah, or like
he knew too.
Yeah. Or the guy who knew there was going to be a holding penalty at the ass game. He's like, they only call holding. I told you I'm going to call holding. I was like, sir, yeah, you've been saying it all night. Chances are, odds are going to come in your favor. That's a pretty standard call.
Minus his hatred towards Europeans, he does understand the game quite well. He was an NHL coach. He did coach Bobby Orr. And I'm pretty sure if you sat down with him, you'd be able to have a pretty intelligent conversation with him. As long as you didn't bring up like a name like Peter Forsberg, you'd be fine.
Or if you bring up the number
Ovechkin.
6.
He's smart.
6. Too many men call.
The thing you have to remember with Don Cherry is if he grinds your gears, just remember, his opinion is no more valid than yours. He just gets paid to broadcast his. That's as simple as that.
Yeah.
It sounds like...
But now he's getting less time to broadcast it, and they're like, hey, let's have literally,
'Kay.
I timed it. There is 13 minutes of fucking commercials
Sportsnet-
before and after Coach's Corner.
You gotta pay
Sportsnet-
them guys on the TV,
Sportsnet
right?
broadcasts are awful. George Stroumboulopoulos, get off Hockey Night in Canada. You're a good TV personality. You're not a good hockey personality. Get off.
I was
the
really
fucking
excited
TV.
for what Sportsnet was going to do
Sorry,
this year.
I had to get that out.
Really excited for what
Go back
Sportsnet's
to a
doing.
bunch of music.
They are fucking... I am not impressed with anything they've
The
done.
balls aren't rolling yet. It's like NHL Game Center. Like when you log in, like you'll be watching halfway through a game, and they'll just boom, you'll kick you out, and it's like, please log in again. I'm like, I didn't log out. No, and then you like log back in. You're like, okay, yeah, Flyers scored twice. I didn't want to see.
I would
that.
rather
10
have
seconds.
Dennis Bayak saying he's gone 7 goals without a game
Without a game.
Then-
7 goals without a
than
game.
have to listen to fucking Nick Kyprios and George Stroumboulopoulos talk about hockey. I'm sorry.
My favorite,
But-
the only few times I've watched the Sportsnet
Jesus.
broadcast, they like came back from commercial, and then it was like they weren't ready,
They
so they
weren't
went
ready.
straight back to commercial, and it was like Strombo like leaning back in the chair, just like oh, what, we're back, and then
He-
like, bam,
he's
come
just
on, commercial.
he's not a hockey personality.
But neither was Ron McLean. Neither was Ron. He was a weatherman.
and to me, yeah, but he was also a linesman.
Yeah, but he had to weather the storm that is Don Cherry.
Oh.
Nailed it, guys!
But-
yeah!
Okay, to me, TSN
And he got a chance off of a pen throw.
TSN hockey broadcasts, that panel, that is the best hockey analysis you will get. Because they are all NHL.
They know what they're...
Experts.
Minus Jeff O'Neill.
Okay, yeah, minus badass.
Hey, 2.0. You don't take that away
And
from
then
Gary.
here's the other thing, is I was somewhat disappointed when I heard about the Sportsnet thing, then they're like, and we'll still have Hockey Night in Canada. So I was somewhat jazzed, but they've completely stripped Hockey Night in Canada for what it was. Because it's not, like, if you're going to do Hockey Night in Canada, let CBC produce it. Let Coach's Corner be 8 minutes long. Let them have the pregame, like, intros and stuff like that. Let them do that, because they did a hell of a better job than what Sportsnet's doing. I am not impressed, and I can say that because I'm no way affiliated to them, and I am not impressed, period, with anything.
Dare I say
And they're
it?
saying, oh, we're more hockey. I'm sorry, I don't really see more hockey. I still see a lot of locally blacked out games.
Dare I say it?
So many.
Yep. TSN Jets does NHL broadcasts with Shane Knighty and Dennis Bayak, and their broadcasts are 10 times better than
Don't
Sportsnet.
you
Oh,
dare
so far.
cut out Sarah. She does.
Yeah,
Okay, and
Sarah
Sarah.
does a
She does great
tremendous
interviews.
job.
You're right.
And
Tremendous
you know
job.
what? It's like she's
You know who
with
does a
those
better? You know who
guys.
does better interviews? Sarah Lesky over George Stroumboulopoulos.
I would rather listen to Gary Lawless in Order than watch a Sportsnet broadcast.
Or Q&A.
Yeah.
Those are great. I love Q&A.
Like, come on.
You guys did this.
They are just.
I know we're
not
talking
impressing
about
me.
like broadcast or whatever. I did see at the end of the game, like Wheeler bugging Hutchison in the camera. That's funny.
So
Hutchison was like doing a post game interview, and Wheeler popped up, and like he didn't see him. And he's like standing like off left on his shoulder, and he's just like seeing himself in the camera, and then he just stood there and he's like staring at him from behind. And then Hutchison like looked at the monitor and then started giggling, and Wheeler's like, ah, and like walks away.
They do that a lot.
Yeah.
Buffalo does that all the time.
Yeah, just
Well,
stands there,
Excellent.
stares off.
And here's the thing, though, is, and this is one of the biggest things I'm disappointed with Sportsnet about. Unless a Canadian team's playing, rarely you'll see hockey on TV. Like, I love what they do on Saturday nights, how they have 6 games on at 6 o'clock on 6 different channels, and then they have the one late game. But honestly, you get Saturday night, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. And that is it. They had Thursday this week for the Montreal-Boston game, and that was it. With TSN, you had potentially a game Monday night, and if they didn't have it, they would have a game on TSN 2. Tuesday night, they had a game. Wednesday night, they had the Wednesday night hockey doubleheader.
And then
Thursday
on top
night,
of that, you'd have your local broadcast with the Jets.
yeah, and then they'd have a Thursday night game, and then probably have TSN 2 Friday night game, and then they'd have Sunday, and then they'd have Rivalry Sunday on
All I'm saying-
NBCSN. And then they'd have that game.
And they had that on Wednesday too,
Yeah.
rivalry night.
All I'm saying,
They knew what they were doing.
When playoffs come around this year, I'm watching NBC.
It's the best. Doc Emmerich, I loved it.
At least TSN, we had.
I know you guys
TSN
don't
before.
like Doc Emmerich, but you'll learn to love him.
Would
See, here's the thing, though.
Would Jets playoff games be on TSN Jets, or would they be national?
No, they'd be on national.
Fuck. So we'd be on Sportsnet.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Awesome.
I'm not, like, the only
Still make
guy...
the playoffs, Jets.
The only guys I like hearing are Randorf. I still love
He
hearing
was
his voice.
so bad during the Jets game last week.
I like Randorf.
Terrible.
Hey, this Toby Enstrom. He's not too bad. And no kidding.
I like
a few
Houston
games.
just because I've heard him for so many years in Bob Cole. Those are my three that I just love.
Bob Cole was good, but he's...
I miss hearing Gord Miller, and I miss hearing Chris Cuthbert.
Yes.
Miss
Bob
those
guys,
guys.
we're like...
Oh, there's Bob Cole. Here's Bob Cole's announcing. Oh, they blew the whistle. I'm not really sure why.
What's 6 times 7?
We're going to commercial.
42.
Only like 42-ish beautiful days until you get to hear Gord Miller.
Yeah, I know.
World
I know.
Juniors.
I know. I can't wait either.
Where'd you, man? They got thumped so bad.
Oh, whatever. So let's get off bashing
let's
Sportsnet.
stay on Canadian hockey though.
Well,
what happened in Leafland?
No, before that,
Leafs are doing good right
I
now.
want to mention one Jets thing before we go to Leafland.
Go.
The fourth line: Slater, Thorburn, Gagliardi. No points yet this year.
Slater, Thorburn, Gagliardi?
No points.
No points.
Has there been a GST
17
chant
games.
again?
No.
What?
Slater, Thorburn,
GST.
Granted, Gagliardi
GST. Let's start the chant.
Gagliardi and Slater are the second penalty kill for unit for forwards. So I
That's
mean,
true.
there's benefit because we have the fourth best penalty kill in the NHL. But
No, go on. That's not
Like-
You're on a chair that's wood.
put Peluso's healthy. He's not hurt. Put him in. They put Halishuk in. I'm sorry. Get rid of him.
Halishuk?
Yeah, come on. No. Get rid of him. He's not.
He's good.
Hey, aren't
he's
the
not.
ice,
He's better than
ice
Thorburn.
caps doing terrible?
Okay, he's
right
better
now?
than
they are.
Thorburn,
They're
but
not
he's not the answer.
They're actually, to talk about the Ice Cats quickly, their sellout streak is in jeopardy of being broken now with the team not doing well.
Because
And
they've lost like 9 games in a row.
and
or
it's
something.
that
Really?
and the fact that people in St. John's are pissed that they're losing the team.
They're losing the team.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
All signs are pointing.
All signs point.
Like, with all the reports they're hearing, they're like, well, why should I go support a team if they're not going to be here in 2 years? That's the way they...
But they're
that's the way
trying
look at
to.
it.
The people in the St. John's guys are trying to say, well, we'll bring another team here.
And, like, the thing is the
For
only...
a fourth time?
The only reason why... Like, it's
They
not
aren't
that...
getting moved because it's not
Yeah.
working. They're getting moved because it's not feasible for them to fly 4 hours to Winnipeg.
So what you're telling me is once Quebec gets a team, because it's done happening,
No,
St. John's will get it.
St. John's will be
get AHL.
St. John's will be in Thunder Bay way before Quebec gets a hockey team.
No. What I'm saying, like, if Quebec gets a team, AHL will
Yes.
go to St.
Very-
John's. Because
very
it's a
well.
little more feasible
Very well.
than
Weird.
that 6-7 hour
Take it-
flight there.
Unfortunately, I'm going to compare it to the Toronto Maple Leafs situation.
Mm-hmm.
They have the Marlies, which are in Toronto, and they're able to move guys up very easily. If you follow Toronto Maple Leafs on Twitter, which I don't know how many of you guys do, but you hear, oh, they sent down Josh Levo today. Oh, they recalled Josh Levo. Oh, they sent down
But
Stuart
that's
Percy. Oh, they
also
recalled.
to save cap space.
It's like $1,000 per move. But yeah, they do save cap space with it. But what I'm saying is that it would give us the freedom to be able to send guys down and bring guys up a little bit easier than what we're at right now. Because
What's the
really,
flight to Thunder Bay? Because driving there's what, like 8 hours?
yeah, something like that. Like a flight would be less than 2 hours.
That's awesome.
It'd be like 45 minutes probably.
That'd be
max.
great. Yeah. Well, like Leafs, you could literally throw a puck from
Yeah.
one to the other.
Oh yeah.
They share a practice facility. It's
Yeah,
across
Just
the
wait
hallway.
till they get 2 NHL teams.
It's looking though, as I've heard reports, and I was listening to a podcast that had the old Leafs.
Another
No, I was
that
listening to
isn't
Steve Dangle.
ours?
I was listening to Steve Dangle podcast. They had the old MLSC guy there. I can't remember his name, but he was saying how it's just not going to be feasible to have another Toronto market there because you already have too many loyal fans of Toronto Maple Leafs, and
And it'll
it'd be
like
hard
a little
to
brother no one wants around.
Yeah.
exactly. It'd be
Kinda like
so
when he's
hard to
standing at
Kind of
the
like
top
the,
of
so hard
kind
to
of like
grow
the
that.
Islanders to the Rangers. Nobody gives a shit about the Islanders.
Except they're doing well.
They're doing okay.
Even the arena doesn't give a shit about them.
Yeah, they're doing okay, but they get 9,000 people.
Hey, you want to sit behind the goalie? You won't be able to see you when you sit behind
You
the goalie.
want to watch the Jumbotron? Sit in that end of the arena.
Speaking
then.
of, like, I had a gentleman I ran into and I was talking to, and he was a former Panthers season ticket holder. You done heard it here first,
Oh
folks.
boy.
What he was saying was...
Whoa, can we have him on the podcast?
I didn't get info.
Can you be like,
Anyways,
hey, we run
he
a Jets
walked-
podcast,
He,
and we want to talk to you about your terrible buying decision.
No.
Or, sorry, awesome buying decision.
No, we talked to him for like an hour. It was awesome. But anyways, he was saying how, like, the reason that, like, the fans, like, it's not going so well, and he said he was one of the people who said, like, it's not fair in this certain situation I'm telling you about, would be fans, like, say us, we went to Florida to watch the Jets play and then go there for, like, a week or whatever. It's like, to us, what people would do would be buy upper deck seats and then just move down. And like the checkers didn't care. They'd just be like, yeah, go down there. And he'd be like, how is it fair that I'm paying literally like $140 a ticket, and you're telling me you spent $10, and you're walking down with food that you got for free from up there just to sit here? That's not fair. Anyways, he said he was talking to them like he doesn't have the season tickets anymore, but he said people would literally like one of the promotional packs, like now they charge you for parking. Oh, he lives in he had a retirement home in Florida, but now it's in Phoenix. So he has a mini pack in Phoenix. Weird guy to run into. It was awesome. But anyways,
Where'd you run into this guy?
at my work. I don't want to say where I work.
Why
but
is
at
he here?
Huh?
Is he from Winnipeg?
Yeah, he lives here.
He lives here, and then he winters.
winterize.
Yeah, but you have to live like if you go somewhere and then you come back to Canada like a retirement or whatever
like 6
for
months here.
6 or 7 months. He was saying. But anyways,
tax reasons.
Yeah, exactly. He was saying
I wish I was retired.
Yeah, he was saying at the Florida. He said a friend of his who like still lives down in Florida says they're losing roughly around $100,000 a day in money. Because they're charging everyone the full price. And he said, here's the example. This is what like I had problems with the first couple years that when I was down there. He said, you go for a day like golf 18, then go have friends in a barbecue, and it's beautiful, and it's like 6 o'clock, and the game's at 7:30. And he's like, or you could just kick back and have a barbecue and stay at home, or go to the game. And he's like, see, Canada, it's freezing, so it's like it's like you get excited for the game. He's like, well, you already spent your day like outside and stuff, and it's almost like why would you make that extra trek to go to the arena when you could just stay at home and watch it at home or have a bonfire with your friends?
It's probably not a very fun environment to watch hockey. And you go here, it's awesome.
That's what he was saying. And
you go there, it's
he said same thing with Phoenix. He said that's why he's like, and he said Phoenix, it's in Glendale, and he says Glendale's like it's just a shopping center, and now
nothing.
he said because the new ownership, same deal. He said they're not putting up with like they have promotional deals, but they're not putting up with crap. They're charging steeper prices now, and he said and they charge you for parking. It's like less for parking, but he said like the reason they're charging you for parking now is because like the shopping when the games are on, it's in the shopping like there'd be no shopping, so the mall would lose money, and so either way, like he said, the way it was set up, it's like a lose-lose. Either if the game's sold out, the mall's losing money. If the mall's packed, the game more often than not is empty. And so he said it was a really interesting take on things, but like it was just crazy. I was like, what? You are a Florida season ticket holder?
I know that
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I know that you guys didn't watch the game last night, but there was only like 10,000 and.
I heard there was less than that.
There's
Yeah.
10,000.
I saw the highlights.
10,004 announced attendance at the game.
That's rough.
In Carolina.
Mama. You know what I could see?
And that's for a Canadian team. Normally, Canadian teams down there are the big draws.
Winnipeg,
Yeah.
so it might not be
I
as
get
big of
that.
a draw.
But Carolina.
If you go down there, any Canadian team is a big draw down there because the majority of people are from Canada.
Well, maybe another thing is like, the flash and like Eric Stahl's like crazy point days are over, so there's like no flash and like dash.
And who else do they have?
Jeff Skinner,
Elias
Lindholm.
Jordan Stahl overrated. Semin probably past his prime.
Well, I wouldn't say Stahl's overrated. It's just Stahl was put into a role that like he's
miscast.
Miscast. There you go. Like he's good. He can play like penalty kill, second power play, maybe.
But I think they overshot his like when he came from Pittsburgh. I think they thought he was going to be a lot better than he actually.
Well, yeah, that's like anyone can do like like him. He does great on a third line role. Like he has second line caliber.
He's probably a second line.
But it's just he was playing third line, so like you were like maximizing his potential because you're like, hey, you only get like tops 18 minutes tonight. So like if you're getting someone at 18 minutes 100%, now you're putting on first or second line, you're only getting like 70. Obviously he's gonna dip.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was, although Carolina, like I know when relocation pops up and everyone's like, oh, Carolina can move. Right now, the position they're in, they could hypothetically draft whether it's McDavid. I'm going to say Eichel, or even Noah Hannafin. Okay, Eichel, Hannafin, Americans. That could be a draw. Like
there you go.
You know, like that could be it.
Anything.
I say build around.
They're going to be
Skinner.
hard pressed no matter what.
They have to build around Skinner, and they're going to have to.
They're going to be hard pressed. I mean, it takes more than a high draft pick to get people to want to go to a game down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it worked in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's a little different.
Pittsburgh's different too, though, because it's like more of
closer,
like and there's more surrounding area. Like Carolina is.
And
like,
Pittsburgh didn't
rally. That's it. Yeah.
And,
I couldn't even point it out.
And the Pens didn't have one first overall draft pick. They had like 4 or 5.
3.
So.
Well, kind of. They had 3 top 3s.
And they were on the verge of going bankrupt because
like,
nobody went to because they were getting 8,000 people a game before they got Crosby. So I mean.
Yeah.
Pens hit it out of the park with their picks, pretty much most of them.
Minus-
as opposed to like...
If the Pens
Stop.
went downhill and were a really bad team for a couple of years, you would see those fans disappear again. I guarantee you.
Well, they're not the best fans.
Well, speaking of awesome fans, what happened in Toronto? Second time I'm trying to segue.
Uncle
What
Leo.
Oh, no, that's not what I was thinking. But
Oh.
yeah, Uncle Leo happened.
what
No,
happened in
talk about
Toronto?
Uncle Leo first.
I
I
wanna
was
talk
talking
about
about what this weekend is. And like,
Oh, Hall of Fame game?
we got to work on our transition.
Yeah,
game.
we really do. Wow. I
Pretty
was
bad,
not
guys.
sure you're going to. For
Our
that.
transition game is Carolina.
Okay, before we talk about Hall of Fame, let's
Okay,
talk about
again.
Uncle Leo.
Yeah, what about Uncle Leo?
He is the best Finnish Russian born. No, he's not Russian born. Fuck.
Kazakhstanian?
No, he's not. He's like 6 different.
So he's Heinz 57, is what you're telling me.
He's from everywhere.
So he's Heinz 57.
But he might as well be Canadian the way he fucking plays hockey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The way I just said fucking for no fucking reason. I don't know fucking why I said that.
Let's go for a rip.
Yeah. Might as well go for a fucking rip, eh? No, Uncle Leo, if anyone's watched Toronto games this year, holy crap. This is why they signed him, and he would be a great guy on the Jets, but...
They were in on it. There was 3
know.
teams. It was like, wasn't it Winnipeg? Allegedly. I can't
Allegedly,
confirm this.
Winnipeg, Toronto, and...
There's another
I'm gonna
team
say
that-
Vancouver, but I could
Yeah,
be wrong
maybe.
with Vancouver.
Yeah.
No, but Toronto, this is the guy they need to get back, and this guy's full of piss and vinegar. He's the... What? What were
Sorry,
you doing?
I thought I was wearing glasses for a second. I was like, where are my glasses?
Have you ever watched a person just like touch their eyes? Like literally his eye. What?
What
I'm not wearing
What are
glasses.
these things on my face?
Ah!
I'm wearing my contacts. I freaked out for a second because usually when I go put my hat on, my glasses like move around. And I went to go touch my glasses and I hit my eyes. And I was like, what the hell was that?
Those Flyer games are messing with
I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
no, but Uncle Leo, he did great on Saturday, didn't he?
He's
Like last
tied
time?
his point total of when he played with the Leafs during the shortened season, but they didn't get him
He
for.
tied his point total already? What was it, like 10?
It was like 12. He wasn't.
Christ.
But
Yeah, Uncle Leo.
Set him...
Corporal Combo.
Set the bar high. 12 points.
okay, but have you ever watched Leo Komarov play? Or
Yeah.
have you ever like okay,
The Olympics
like
and the Leafs
have you ever watched Leo Komarov
I've seen him play a couple
Like,
times.
would you think he's a pretty good player?
He's like a third-line
'Kay.
grinder. Like a good
Yeah.
third-line grinder.
So he's also a very good defensive player.
Yeah.
He played on Saturday night when they were playing against New York, and there was a really close game. He played 3 shifts of the last 2 minutes and won 2 defensive zone faceoffs. Sounds like a good guy to put in the last 2 minutes.
Of course.
Yeah. He was on Toronto Maple Leafs team when they were in the playoffs in Game 7.
When
he was
we
their
were here.
best. We were here, full circle. He was their best defensive player up to that point in the playoffs. Of course, he rating-wise. They played him not one shift in the final 17 minutes of the third period.
So
Because
you're
in
saying
tight
because
games,
of
the third and fourth lines don't play.
But
they
he's your
should.
best defensive player. Are you going to say, no,
We
I
could
don't
tie
want my
this
best
back in with
defensive...
we could tie this back in with the Jets in
Oh,
terms
do you
of
not want
because-
Frolik playing? Because he's on the third line? Do you not want Perreault playing? Because he's on the third line? I want those guys to play because I don't care if it's a tight game or
I'm not saying I agree with only the top 2 lines playing. I'm just saying that's what
But-
teams do.
But here's the other thing. It
I
wasn't
don't
a
agree
tight
with
game,
it.
Dan. It wasn't. It was
They
4
were
to 1.
ahead 4-1.
It was 4
So
to
what
1.
do you want those guys
Why
to
are
do
you
to
not
shut
playing?
down?
You want to protect the lead.
Was
and
that
you weren't
Carlisle?
doing
Was
it.
that Carlisle? Era?
Yes, he's still an idiot, and he's not going to be there in a couple of years, or
don't
even
know.
till the end of this year. Luckily, he's got goaltenders that are found out how to play goalie.
That's
again
one
for a
thing
while.
I've noticed with Maurice. He puts that third line at the end of the game. He'll put them on the ice.
Exactly.
He'll put the fourth line. Who doesn't
It's
got
called
the
running
goddamn
the
goal.
lines.
He'll put them on the ice in the last 5 minutes. He trusts everybody.
Yes,
He has to roll. Well, the Jets even like you have to roll your lines, and that's how you stay like the Jets' level of play. If they start roll or if they continue to roll lines or do it even more, they can keep that consistency
Yeah.
up. But if you have only like your first and second lines, that at the end of the year, those guys are going to be done. Like you need those guys second wind to hit. Then you can't.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I definitely those stats are ridiculous.
that's just one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. Okay, so with Hockey Hall of Fame, Hasek, Modano, Forsberg, Blake, and the late Pat Burns are all being elected into this year's Hockey Hall of Fame. I don't know who else is out there that they could pick, but these. When I think of these guys, these are the guys we grew up with watching hockey, right? Hasek and his crazy helmet and him going like probably the best goalie, and I
You can't even read them. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's just like, aha,
Very-
rolling.
very-
Ah!
Very, very unorthodox.
He looked like a wacky Wayne Flame 2-man out there. He's like, whoa, whoa,
He didn't know what he was going to do to make the save until he made the save.
Yeah.
Mike Modano, simply one of the best captains of all time.
One of the best players of all time.
But in the sense that he was like the first really good American-born captain.
He set the pace for Americans.
like-
He's probably one of
sure.
the best American hockey players ever.
He is right now the best, I think, statistically.
Well, all these guys are like trailblazers. Like Peter Forsberg was the guy who got like Sweden hockey on the map. Like one of the
that one-handed
next
goal
generation.
was like,
Pappy.
oh, hey.
Huh?
Jay and Dan, no.
Oh, Pappy.
Pappy.
No, I really
He
like
came
Peter
back
Forsberg.
for like those 2 games and he's
Yeah.
like, I can't play.
I can't play.
My foot's fucked.
You know what? Forsberg could have been so great. Like, he would have been better than what he was if he didn't
He
get
was
so
still
injured.
great.
Now, the one thing I do notice is 2 of these guys played on the Colorado Avalanche and do not fall into our Nines conspiracy, so I just wanted to put that one out there.
Rob Blake and
Peter Forsberg,
what number was Peter Forsberg?
21.
And Rob
4.
Blake?
And 4. But Rob Blake...
I think the Avalanche conspiracy is busted considering that they're pretty bad this year.
There's no
Who
bust.
cares?
There's something in the water there.
There's something... It's weird that
We'll
they keep
be
getting that.
back next week with that.
No, we won't. We'll be back
They're
next
kind
time we
of proving
find
that
something.
Yeah.
they're kind of proving that they overachieved a bit last year.
Whatever. Everyone knew it was going to happen because of their Corsa rating. But I wanted to ask
their
you guys,
defensive.
what is your favorite moments of this class, minus maybe Pat Burns? And Pat Burns, for me,
Pat Burns.
I don't remember him as a coach.
I do. 03 Stanley Cup. I watched it. That was my only really memory of him.
But
And,
everything I've
Jersey.
noticed, he's just
Jersey
he's just
won.
been a fantastic coach. So
Yeah.
obviously, that's great. And so Hasek, Modano, Forsberg, Blake, favorite moments of even just one of them.
Hasek, Modano, Forsberg, Blake.
man.
This is gonna sound a little weird, but N64, I think it was 2000 or something. A friend of mine, like when I was younger, he still loves the Stars, but he always had to do the Stars, so I always went either Flyers or Colorado. More than likely it was Colorado because they're the better team, and Rob Blake scored like 85% of my goals because I'd win the face-off and I put him on his off wing and he'd just clap it home every time.
This isn't
That's how
necessarily
he scored.
like a player thing, but that 01 Cup team, Colorado, when Blake and Forsberg were on it, that whole team was. I watched that.
Just
that was good.
ridiculous.
was
That
good.
was
That was the Ray
Ray
Borg
Borg.
year. Yeah.
See,
That was
I
good.
remember
That
was
was-
one of the very first
I
like
that.
full any like playoff games I watched and I remember.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I remember like I was watching with my dad and like
I
a couple
may have
other
teared
people.
up. Okay, I
I
cried.
didn't understand. No, but like it's like
I definitely cried when
I
Bork.
remember everyone was talking, and then when Bork went to I'm getting goosebumps. When Bork went to go lift the cup, I was like, oh, they're lifting the cup, and like my dad, my uncle, and whoever else was over, like it was quiet, and it was like no one was gonna cry, but like they were like, he did it. Like,
You had
and
to
I don't
cherish that moment.
understand. I don't understand. Until I got older, I didn't understand the immensity and like the meaning behind that moment.
It's like if Daniel Alfredson were to raise the cup, everyone would just be like,
Or Iginla, guys
Or
like
Iginla,
that,
yeah.
exactly.
Just-
like, or like even like to a smaller extent, Hossa. After like
Oh,
losing,
yeah.
winning, it's
It
like
was just-
Taves, right? It was Taves.
Yeah,
anyone?
Taves.
I'm getting goosebumps. Like Taves, like he got it, kissed it, then he's like Hoss, boom, and everyone's like even like Flyers are cheering hard against the Hawks.
Yeah.
It was like even then I'm like it was like that Peter Griffin moment. It's like good for you.
I
Good
know.
for you.
I
You
know
missed the
that's-
best call in sports history. You just
Yeah,
missed
in
it.
21 years. And yeah, we got it.
That
Yeah.
guy was the best hockey announcer.
Yeah.
You know what? The Boston guy is really good for play-by-play for announcing, but
Yeah, but basically it was
my-
like those moments you appreciate those. Your favorite moment.
Yeah, and
Mike-
that was in the time where there was a trend between like 98 and like 2001 or something. Stars won the cup. Year after, Stars lose to the Devils.
Yeah,
Year after,
after-
Devils lose to the Avalanche. So
Yeah.
whoever won the cup
That was-
lost
Whoa,
it the year
whoa.
after.
And all the guys that retired, someone or are putting in the Hall of Fame were all involved in that.
yeah, including Pat Burns of the
Yeah,
New
coach.
Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
But my favorite moment isn't play related. Obviously, the Forsberg move is my favorite Forsberg thing. You know, that penitent shootout where he goes one-handed. I've done it many times when I was a kid. It was awesome.
You still do it now.
Yes, I do.
An old man with hip problems, I just want to say. You're only causing
You
more
guys
trouble.
are. I don't know if you guys know this stat, but in 2007, you know who Peter Forsberg played for in the playoffs?
In 2000.
Nashville Predators.
Yep.
Yep.
Long forgotten.
So my favorite Mike Modano moment was when he went to the Detroit Red Wings and they played Dallas in Dallas. and they like honored him in the rink, and like he was pretty much brought to tears. It was amazing. It's like when Timu came back here, it was one of those moments of like your knight returning home of where he should be. And it was honestly, it's weird when Medana was in a Red Wings jersey. It just didn't feel right, especially because he had
That wasn't his last year, but it was close to the end. Right?
Those were his last years that he played with Detroit.
I think he played 1 year with Dallas, didn't he?
He
signed a 1-day contract with them.
1-day contract to retire as a Dallas Star. Now with going to Legends, okay.
Go. There's no transition. I was just gonna say.
Going from Legends to way past Legends. Pierre LeBrun of ESPN/TSN says it might be time to change the NHL awards. He's not saying that he personally believes that, but he thinks with how the way the NHL is trending, they want to get bigger. Why don't they change the names of the NHL awards?
To more like pertinent or like pertaining names.
Instead of the Art Ross, have it be the Wayne Gretzky Award. Instead of it being
Calder, what would that's rookie? Who had a great rookie year? Lemieux.
I'd say Hart Trophy should be Wayne Gretzky Award. Well, MVP.
What's the one that the players vote on?
That's I know that too.
Masterton?
No, that's the Masterton Awards, the overcoming person.
Lindsay.
Ted Lindsay.
Who would be? What are we going to come up with names ourselves? Like, who do we?
I just think it's a stupid idea. I don't even want to speculate because I don't want it to happen.
Well, as
you want names?
Yeah,
as like, other people have said, if you don't know who they are, Google.
How long have these award names? How long?
The Norris Trophy has been awarded to the best NHL defenseman since the 50s. So put that one out there.
So these awards are literally older than most of our parents or all of our parents.
Yeah, some of these awards are older than our parents. Some of these
awards. Change it now?
So, and it's like, well, you want to just change the name of Stanley Cup? Then just name it after someone random. Let's just do that too.
Can we make a new award, the Eric Bolton Award, and whoever gets the first hat trick on the Jets gets a goddamn trophy, with Eric Bolton's face on it, going,
yeah. His
face after he celebrates last goal, that just has to be on the trophy.
Not doing the NHL 94.
Guys, it's happening against New Jersey on Tuesday. I'm there. It's going to happen.
They were there on Thursday.
Guess who the last hat trick was against?
New Jersey. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Greg, who you calling? Who's doing it? Mark
Scheifele.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
I'll let you go.
I said this before the season. Big Buff.
Okay, I'm taking Wheeler then. I thought for sure you were taking Buff.
Okay, well...
So,
on the sense of the award names, what do you guys think?
I think...
Would they ever change them? Should they ever change them?
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, exactly. I could see them changing it. I don't think it'd be the smartest idea. If they did, it'd be interesting to see the argument that comes up for players. And obviously, because my opinion matters more than anyone else ever, the James Norris Award has to be Bobby Orr.
Yeah, there's no argument.
Not Screw. Nick Lindstrom is unbelievably talented.
Or it could also be Ray Bork. I know. Honestly, if there's a best defenseman award...
See, look at that. Look how I reacted. You're like, Ray Bork. I'm like, no. That's exactly how these arguments would happen in the room to change a name.
Exactly.
It'd literally come down to a coin toss. It'd be like, well, we all lost, so scoring goes to McGillney. It's the McGillney Award. I'm like...
You know what? I think...
he had that one really good year, so we had to give it to him.
We need to have a Ty Domi Award, most fights in a season.
That'd be okay.
The Eric Lindros Award, most head down blue line crosses.
The Paul Career Award, most goals after being knocked out.
Concussed.
Yeah. Upon being concussed award.
Can we make the Last Man In podcast awards and just make them hilarious?
Yeah, we'll change it. That's what we're going to do. At the end of the year, we're going to have like our Art Ross, but we're changing the names. We'll be like Art, or formerly known as Art Ross, and it'll be whatever.
Chip Slater Award, most points.
Yeah, but the scoring award, like most goals, McGillney. I'm having it in right now.
Zach Bogosian Award, most games lost to injury.
Yeah. Oh, okay, now that we're not even like, we're talking about awards, so we're all on the same page.
They shouldn't, it's history, and it's like, do you think anybody in the NFL is talking about changing the Super Bowl trophy to away from the Lombardi Trophy?
Because nobody calls it the Lombardi. Everyone calls it the Super Bowl.
A lot of people call it the Lombardi Trophy. Trophy itself is actually called the Lombardi.
Have you ever seen a pack of cheeseheads angry? They're mean people.
They're not nice.
I'll find out Sunday when the Eagles bend them over.
And history, you know who's hanging them up? The Green Men in Canucks.
Yeah,
Green Men, they're hanging them up.
Last season.
Yeah.
Why? They're tired of the Canucks and their
Because they can't bring boxes of waffles in anymore like that one year in the Toronto.
Oh my god, that was so funny when I can't remember who took the penalty. They had a box of Eggos in there.
How do you get that in? How do you get that in?
They just let him in, dude. There's a green man. They come in through the bottom. Like, they don't come in through upstairs. They come in through, like, the players' entrance.
You remember the one where the guy's doing, like, a handstand upside down against the
And he was, like, twerking?
Yeah.
He did the original twerk on TV that I remember. Oh, and, like, the waffles, serving up waffles and, like, bad passes. I saw this on my Twitter feed. Kudos to whoever it was. If Petrie gets a really nice assist, do they call it a good Petrie dish?
Oh.
Come on. You're reaching.
Oh, yeah.
You're reaching.
Puns. Wow.
You're reaching.
And because let's bring it way
So if
down.
Corey Potter scores a goal, is it magical?
What?
Harry Potter. Yeah, I got the
Oh,
reference.
jeez, I missed that one. I got the Petri dish because I'm like, I can do science and stuff.
Fun fact: do you know who the waffle game was against? The Leafs
Thrashers.
waffle game. Yeah.
Thrashers. They lost 7-3 or something like that.
I don't remember the score. I remember it was against the Thrashers.
I want to see somebody else throw waffles on the ice.
I want to see something weird, but
Can we? Oh, if I had the money and the fact that I like going to Jets games taken away from me, I'd love to throw just a jet dog on the ice, just a fully loaded jet dog.
You don't waste that.
Expensive.
You don't
Can
spit. You do
No
not
one's
call
spit.
if I had the money.
You do not spit on the name of Gary Lawless like
Yeah,
that.
they're delicious.
Were they Gary Lawless's invention?
Probably.
No,
Seen them?
yeah,
No.
most certainly.
We're ruthless, by the way.
We are.
We are.
But we can't be ruthless about this next topic.
Oh man.
Sens GM Brian Murray has now been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So obviously our thoughts and prayers from the last man.
There's no cure at the moment.
Yeah.
There's
He
no
will-
no. It's not. There's no cure at the moment. There's no cure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Stage 4 is the
God,
last
I'm an
stage.
asshole.
Yeah,
Shit.
that's-
Stage 4 is the last stage. It means it's spread.
So he's going to continue chemo, but...
He has colon cancer. It's spread
Yeah.
to his liver, his lungs. Stage 4 just means it's spread to your whole
Yeah.
Oh,
body.
that sucks.
Yeah, it's too bad.
So does he have a timeline or no timeline?
No, he said they're
timeline.
going to keep doing chemo and hopefully give him
Something
as much
happens.
time as he can.
Yeah.
Dang.
But probably not. Like,
No.
I can see him finishing the year as the GM and then probably being
Stepping
done.
down.
Oh, and then
But-
who would be the new GM? Or they don't even... Do they
I
have
don't
anyone
think they even
notable
thought.
that I
Like
could
Eugene
think
Melnick probably was going to handle
of? Yeah,
that.
I was going to say.
But
Yeah.
it's obviously
Sucks.
like we're not all Sens fans here, and we have at times made fun of Brian
But we're
Murray's
all
speech
hockey
impediment.
fans.
And
We're all
it is
human
tough.
beings.
It is
Yeah.
tough to lose a brother of the hockey
Community.
community like this. So obviously, thoughts and prayers go out to the Murray family.
And if you're over 50, get a colonoscopy because that's what he said. He said
What's a colonoscopy?
they
It's when they
check
go
you
on your
for colon cancer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because once you're over 50, you're at the at-risk population. And he said he just never went for. We didn't never.
Honestly,
He said it's just like how you should get your prostate checked once you're over 50.
you should honestly for everything just check it because it's better to know early enough and have it diagnosed and treated so you have more time with your family. Because
Well, he
it's
even
just,
said if he had gone because once you're 50, they start sending you things saying you should come for one.
Yeah.
Because us, we're probably fine. The odds of us getting colon cancer, it's possible, but it's very rare.
Mhm.
And he was saying that he never went because they always told him he was healthy. And he said that he never had any symptoms, but they said he's had it for 7 to 10 years.
That's crazy.
And he even said if he had just gone for one when just for a checkup, he probably would be okay.
Dang.
That's
So not to criticize the guy at all. 'Cause
No,
you don't
we're
know.
not.
No,
If-
his message is...
If you
so
feel
good.
His
fine,
message-
if you feel fine, you have no symptoms. Like, why would you go, right?
Learn from his mistakes and go get yourself checked. And I think once you hit that age, just start going because your health is the most important thing to you at that point in your life. And having more time with your family, whether that's with kids or just with your significant other. The next point, obviously, we had a trade this week, the first trade of the NHL
Greg,
season.
How dare you?
What?
You didn't even open the bag and reach in.
We've been in the mailbag for like half an hour.
No, that's a big old mailbag.
That's
Yeah,
sour-
can we
sours?
at least
Sours?
share? Are you one of those people? Are you opening containers and then throwing them? Hey, what's
sours? Want sours?
Okay, well, while you guys are talking about that,
Nothing.
first let's hop in the mailbag for some injuries here.
No, I said first trade of the season.
No injuries. Lukey Shen is out.
I'm throwing Skittles at
2
you.
weeks with a lower body thanks to Nathan McKinnon because he's an animal.
After a dirty fucking hit.
Hey, did he deserve to be suspended for that hit?
Considering that they haven't.
No, you know what?
Considering that there's been a couple other hits like that and those guys haven't gotten suspended, no. Would I have? Yes.
Okay,
I would have suspended all of them.
suspendable. What I was going to say.
Clearly, without Sheriff Shanny there, they're being a little soft in the NHL.
Well, not Corporal, Chris Pronger is going to be there one day. when he can read the paper.
When he can figure out who he
Such a
is.
terrible person.
So what, are we going to start making more backbone comments to...
Nathan Horton, we got to get on that.
Yeah, we will.
But,
we'll
Kate,
talk about that in a second.
Denny Heatley on the IR, Alex Martinez had a finger surgery, and who'd they sign to replace him?
Jimmy McMahon.
Boom, nailed it.
14,000 in cap space left.
That's crazy. Corey Perry is practicing again after getting the mumps. What the hell is the mumps?
I just read an article here too while we were doing the podcast.
Okay.
There's 3 teams right now that have players with the mumps.
What's the mumps?
Minnesota, St. Louis, and Dallas, and apparently the Jets are like doing everything except wearing face masks on Sunday when they go there. Because Minnesota's one of the teams that the mumps is going.
It's in the water.
No, it's travel. It's through like body fluids and saliva, so like they're not.
Why are the guys making out with each other?
sharing water bottles?
Making out with each other.
Showering each
Yeah,
other.
gay butt sex. Gay butt sex
Give
all
us
the time.
six. Give us six.
All the time.
Yeah, there was a trade.
Moen from Montreal for Gonchar.
Why?
Now, since the Michael Del Zotto
Why?
thing last week, I have not read any funnier tweets than what I read after this trade.
Okay.
Like, so Travis Moen of the Montreal Canadiens just got traded for Sergei Gonchar. In other news, it's not 2010 and these players don't matter.
Because Gonchar is a free agent at the end of the year. They want him for the power play this year. They don't want Moen's contract next year. So they dump Moen's contract. They'll have Gonchar for the rest of the year. Maybe they can renegotiate with him for a lower price at the end of the year.
Why did Dallas want to do this deal? It doesn't seem like a win-win for
You
Dallas.
guys, let's talk
Because
about something.
Gonchar's, was he that big a...
That move wasn't very big. This move was a little bigger. Rene Bourque cleared waivers, and he's now in the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Him and Tangrady can have a party down there.
A Bourque Grady party.
Wow, that
were
was
there
a start.
any suspensions?
No, not that I know of.
No suspensions? Milestones reached, guys. Unless you got something else, I want to finish with this stuff because I got some cool facts.
Did we
I
talk
wanna-
about
I wanna-
Skinner getting 100 last week?
Oh, no, wait. Damn.
Wow. You just crushed his spirit.
Sorry, man.
You're like
Okay,
a girl
first
that
off-
says no to him on Tinder.
First, I don't have Tinder.
I know.
I'm scared of women. Scared. Milestones. Seth Griffith's goal.
Oh,
Goal of the year.
no!
No
The
way.
Tarasenko goal is way better.
Come on, you see Tarasenko every year. When do you see a guy bobble the puck so bad down a spinorama and it only went in because
He
of
didn't do a
goalie
spinorama
fault?
on purpose. He lost the
He
puck
done
and
got spun.
he was backwards and he just went,
He done got spun
Tarasenko's is nice.
through the legs. Boom. No looky goal. It looks like one of my goals. It's unbelievable. Okay, Taves played his 500th game. I meant to say game, not goal paper. Jonathan Taves
500 goals, that's impressive.
has played less games than Brian Little.
Yeah. And has probably twice the amount of points.
Just saying.
What?
Hypothetically, somewhere in a different realm, Jonathan Taves is on Winnipeg Jets.
Ah!
I don't know that word.
He's also played less games than Toby Enstrom.
Well, don't you smack Dr. Tobias. Nick Leddy hit his 100th point. Jeff Skinner and Jordan Eberle both hit 100 goals. Fun fact, Jordan Eberle is the second player from the 08 draft to score 100 goals. Who is the first one?
It's not Kane, because Kane was 09.
Oh, wait, come on, guys. Come on.
Tavares?
We talked about him in this
Doughty.
very podcast. I'm giving you one more guess, Greg. That's
Wait.
embarrassing.
We talked about it in this podcast?
This very podcast.
Peter Forsberg.
He does, in fact, have probably 100 goals.
100 goals from 08 draft? Brian Little. No, he was 06.
Steven Stamkos, guys.
Oh, wow.
He's 244 goals, so kind of
When
close
did
to
we
Eberle.
ever talk about Steven
We got-
Stamkos' podcast?
The
the leg thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how he
Come
went in the
on.
hyperbolic time chamber and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but Jeff Skinner got his 100 goals in 270 games played, and he's 191 career points as of today.
Good for him.
Eberle
Not
got
bad
it in
considering he plays on a
200.
terrible team.
Eberle got in 291 games played, and he has 233 career points.
Now, am I the only one that thinks that Skinner's older than
Evander Kane has 333 games played and 203 points. He also has 100 goals. Fun fact about the 100 goal club: 15.7% of all NHL players enter the 100 goal club. That currently it resides. There's 1,013 players out of a total listed on NHL of 6,449 players to ever play in the NHL. 200 goal club: 6.7% of all NHL players. That's only 434 players. 500 goal club only has 0.65 NHL players. It has 42 members.
There was also a stat the
Wow.
other day from the 06 draft. Brian Little is one of 5 players to play over 500 games from that draft.
That was a bad draft, or what?
I don't remember.
I guess longevity doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you can.
Not
stay
really,
healthy.
because Jim Slater has played almost 500 games, or has played 500 games. So.
Yeah, but that was my facts today. So,
Wow,
that's crazy though. Like only 15.7, like 16% of players playing the NHL get 100 goals. We should feel lucky to have Evander Kane now. I'm trying to give my.
I'm going to see how many Jets have 100 goals now.
How many Jets have 100 goals?
Wheeler.
Vlad, Buff.
No, you know what? I'm going to say Wheeler doesn't. I don't think Wheeler does.
Well, he's had almost 60 since he's been here.
Okay, well, while you guys do search, Greg, what do we got here?
I've got it. Wiki.
I just said Stalock's on IR.
Stalock on IR. What else we got?
Yeah, this is great way to fill airtime as we're doing
Okay,
stuff.
well, while you guys are
Why don't you
searching
tell
out-
him-
Okay, Wheeler, hang on. Do
Okay,
math.
you guys-
Math for me. Math.
No, we
Okay,
can go to
go,
Hockey
go,
DB. It says
go.
NHL players.
21, 18, so that's 39. 11, that's what?
50.
7.
57.
17.
74.
19.
93.
28.
Yeah, he's past it.
Nailed it.
And then 7 this year.
Okay,
So he's
past
over
100. Lad probably has around 100.
I would say over 100.
I'd be confidently. Yes.
Over
I would say
100.
Over 100.
Do we have a defenseman with over 100 goals now?
Buff could be.
Maybe. Doubtful.
Oh, what I want to know is how many teams have players in the 500 club,
Well, right now, Chicago
or
does.
just all time? Montreal,
Ooh.
definitely. Chicago. Oh, the nearest guy to
500?
getting the 500 goals is Marian Hossa. Needs, I think, 42 more goals.
Oh, really? He's not even part of it yet, but he has 1,000 points.
Mm-hmm. He
Wow,
passes.
crazy.
A lot. Actually, you know what? I can tell you that. I can tell you how close.
Vlad
he
is well over 100.
Yeah.
Lad is well over.
He's got more
100?
than Wheeler.
I'm just trying to think what teams, like, I don't think Chicago has anyone other than Bobby Hall would have 500 goals.
Stan Mikita, or was he defensive?
Maybe. Tony Monte is their only, like, other decent player.
Tony
they
Monte.
had.
Oh.
That's the only guy I remember from, like, pre-Taves Kane era of the Chicago Blackhawks.
There's a lot.
It's like Peter Bondra for Washington Capitals. He's the only... It was Peter Bondra and Olaf Kolzig are the only two guys I really remember from Washington Capitals pre-Ovechkin years.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, he what's 466?
That would be 44 goals, or 34 goals.
34. Then he's got like 32 or something. If I last checked.
So he's
but
like
he's
he
close.
could hit it this year, most likely next year.
And again, like he's like 23rd on the list.
He's crazy.
But he's like he needs like if he gets like 20 goals, there's around 20 this year. He's gonna bump himself in top 20. He's gonna pass Mike Bossy.
That's pretty crazy.
Which is like you think of Mike Bossy, it's like man, Mike Bossy. And it's like Jerome McGinley. Like you don't.
Yeah.
Think that,
I guess you just don't think of those two guys in the same sentence. But you
Bossy.
think Mike Bossy, you think Teemu Selanne record too. A record that'll never be broken. Never mind. Okay, 76 goals in your rookie year. That will probably never happen
That's
again.
the equivalent of someone scoring literally a goal a game now, like a top elite
like
sniper.
how the
Buff
heck?
has 115.
I could. Oh wow.
Nice.
I could never see a player in the NHL now score 76 goals in the season.
I can't. Not the way it is.
There's no way. Is that like I honestly of all records that is the most unbreakable record other than Gretzky's
Well, look at
point
the
record.
last.
Brian
the
Little also has over 100 goals.
Oh, okay, right. Well, so we have a few. Just to like talk about or like how we're talking about this right now. Like the last big milestone that I saw live, fortunately, was Stamkos 60th
60th goal.
and
yeah.
like 60. That's
a
like
lot of goals.
That's only 22 games that you did not score a goal.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Didn't Ovi have 65 a few years ago?
He's had 60 a few times.
Yeah,
Like 65, like 62 or something.
He's been good enough there, but it's just the fact that you have to score in all but 6 games statistically. Of course, you can have multiple goal games and stuff like that, but you have to go 76 games in 82 games. 76 goals in 82 games. That is next to impossible. Never mind playing 82 games.
Like imagine like watching. Oh God, I understand why my dad probably hated Gretzky. He had 50 goals in 39 games. 50.
My dad said
That's
when
ridiculous.
my dad said when he was a kid and they used to do fantasy hockey, you could take Gretzky's goals or his assists. You couldn't take Gretzky.
Yeah, because you'd win.
Because he had 200 points a year. You had to pick goals or assists.
What about his like line mates like Semenko and Curry and those
You'd
guys?
probably double dip and get one of them too
Yeah,
if you could. Why
you're
wouldn't you?
loaded.
First four draft picks each year were okay. I'll take his assists and his goals. then we'll take Curry and Semenko.
Yeah.
And there you go. You're done.
Yeah.
And then
I
who's the
win.
other good guy with the
I
play?
forfeit the rest of my picks.
Yeah. Semenko will just get you a bunch of penalty minutes
what?
because he just fights people.
I know we all knew this, but like the 70 or the span of the 80s, there was only 4 cup winners. In the
I know
80s.
that's.
Because like
You just never see that.
Oilers,
anymore.
Oilers,
Islanders,
Islanders
Flames.
ended in the 80.
Oilers,
Oilers,
Flames.
Flames, and Montreal.
Montreal.
Not nuts.
Yeah.
4. It's like now, like I like that. There's like
You know what's
this
crazy
change. So
Is the 90 to 99 was like the first time that there wasn't like there were so many
the
different cup
dynasty
winners
or anything.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, who
of ever in the
was
NHL.
90?
Okay, 90 and
Pens?
91 were Pens.
92 was Montreal.
No, 93
No,
was
93.
Montreal. Sorry,
91,
1990 was the Oilers.
Yeah.
91, 92 were the Pens. 93 was the Canadians. 94
Rangers.
was Rangers.
5 was
95 was Devils. 96 was Avs. 97 was Detroit. 98 was Detroit. 99 was Dallas. 2000 was New Jersey. 2001 was Colorado. 2002 was Red Wings. 2003 was Devils. 2004 was
Tampa.
Lightning.
6 was
2005
Carolina.
6 was Carolina, 2007 was Anaheim, 2008 was Detroit, 2009 was Pittsburgh,
Pens.
2010 was Hawks, 2011 was
Bruins.
2012
Kings.
was Kings, 2013 was Hawks, 14 was Kings. That is 14 years of hockey right there.
Stanley Cup history right there.
No, that's
That's our
that's
lifetime.
24. That's 24 years of cup winners. I
That's
just
our
listed
lifetime. How many has there been in our lifetime?
23 cup winners.
Edmonton, yeah.
We-
How
Threw in
old
90.
are you? 23. You and I have seen 23. He's only seen 22.
But how many?
Peasant.
But there's been doubles. How many teams?
Oh, how many teams? Okay.
Pittsburgh, Montreal, New Jersey, New York, Colorado, Detroit, Dallas, Tampa,
Chicago.
Chicago, Carolina, LA, Anaheim, Pittsburgh. No, we already said Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I already said Pittsburgh.
Devils.
No,
We
he
said
has.
Devils.
That's it.
That's it. 12.
Oh,
12.
Boston.
12.
Boston.
Boston
13.
13.
Wow.
13.
That's awesome.
And
I like that.
and then take another 24 years. Take 24 years you're picking. Take from 1960 to 1984 and tell me how many different cup winners were in those ones.
Christ. Well, okay, the Islanders won 5 in a row.
Islanders were a dynasty.
Montreal.
Leafs won 3 in 1960. Montreal won, I think, like 6 of 10 years in the 70s.
Flyers got 2.
Flyers got 2. Like, we're right now living in not only the most different era from everything else in the NHL, but probably one of the most exciting eras.
Well,
for
because
hockey.
everyone, you can pick a team and everyone's pretty much on even keel.
Unless you're the Buffalo Sabres.
In a span of 4 years, no, 5-year span, at one point your team was good. Even the Sabres.
Yeah,
good
they
at one
were.
point.
They were.
The Sabres
They were a
just
playoff
got
team 2 years
shafted.
ago.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, the Buffalo Sabres just got shafted in terms of they were like, well, we can't afford Daniel Briere and Brian Campbell, so we have to let them walk. And it's like, God, being a Buffalo Sabre fan would have been crushing. Just like
Those
guys are
Briere
past.
and-
Those guys.
No,
are
I know, but
not
even
now.
that-
And then
Vanek
Miller was
even?
there. Yeah, Vanek they had to get rid of. And although they really fleeced New York for Vanek.
yeah.
So
That was a questionable decision by the Islanders.
That was
I
such
know
a
they're doing
weird
well right
trade.
now, but like that was.
That was a nothing for trade. It was like, I'm
'Cause both
trading
guys
our guy
left.
that we already like here for a guy that we might like here, but plays us.
and then lose a pick for it too.
Buffalo technically won the deal because
right.
They
And
gave
that's
a
this
pick
year?
and Molson for
Well,
Buffalo
that's what the
technically
Islanders are
won the
going
deal
on.
because Molson left and then re-signed in Buffalo. So I mean, they technically won the deal.
Yeah.
But did they really?
But no,
'Cause
then
they're
they traded
piss
him to
awful.
Minnesota and got another player. And then
but-
got a pick.
but-
and then re-signed him.
yeah.
So Buffalo won that trade.
Yeah, but
Hands
they,
down won that trade.
Yeah, but they haven't won anything since.
Yeah, but it's Buffalo.
But that's
They
why
didn't even win the draft lottery last year.
That's what made. Well, you remember? I'm pretty sure we talked about this, but Luongo, we were
Oh
Greg
my
and I were
God.
together. He went like the draft lottery, like the order came out. Luongo's like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited! It's one of the first things I've ever won in my life." Because Florida had first pick.
Yeah.
Now let's just talk about Luongo's Twitter for a second. Did anyone see Luongo's picture of his face photoshopped onto Kim Kardashian's picture?
No.
Oh my God.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's just funny because it's like him looking back at the camera with like a finger in his mouth, just like biting on it, and like smiling seductively with like Kim K's ass.
Yikes.
Which, yeah, that's how we're going to end it this week.
Yeah.
That's how we're ending it.
Kim Kardashian's ass. There you go.
It's not.
We're
pretty.
going to break the internet even more. Quickly before we end, though, Nashville and Winnipeg tomorrow predictions, boys.
3-2 Jets in regulation.
4-2 Jets regulation.
3-1 Preds in overtime.
Sunday game.
Oh,
kidding.
in overtime.
Yeah, because you
Dang.
can have 3-1 games in overtime.
You could.
Yeah.
You
It's
can.
possible. This is football.
This is football.